They're singing happy birthday. You just wanna lay down and cry.
No, I'm your director.
Why? You're
Oh, I thought you guys were doing. Okay, well, Tick Tick Boom.
Woo!
the movie.
The
movie.
Netflix movie, which I feel could have been released in theaters and people would go watch it.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure
Lin-Manuel Miranda.
they saw Red Notice and they're like, guys, they'll watch any dog movie.
We could put anything on
We
here.
could put anything on there and it'll be the biggest movie of all time.
Yeah, but like it wasn't dog. That's the thing.
Have you watched Red Notice?
I'm talking
We're
about
not
Tick Tick
talking
Boom. You're
about Red
comparing
Notice.
it to Red
You're being
Notice, saying
so
that Red Notice
stupid
is
and
dog.
ignorant right now.
Oh my
By
god.
even
My
talking
brother
like
said that
you are.
Red Notice was good too, so I
Actually?
might be wrong twice.
What's it? What? Okay.
What's it about?
What's it got
Dwayne
on
Johnson,
Okay,
Dwayne
Gal
Johnson,
Gadot,
Hey,
and
well-
Ryan Reynolds.
hey,
That's
No,
literally
I-
the movie.
Welcome to our review of Tick Tick Boom. Let's look up the
Let's
Rotten
look up the
Tomato
Rotten Tomato
rating
score
of
of
Red
Red
Notice
Notice.
before we continue.
Okay. Well, we said we don't trust critics.
What is it?
So Rotten
What is
Tomatoes
it?
is 36%.
Oh,
IMDb is 6.4.
what is the audience?
Metacritic is 37. 87% of people like the movie according to Google users.
Okay.
But according to just audience rating summary, don't know what the that like. It doesn't like. There's no source.
Doesn't not say it's
3.9.
good.
3.9
Out of 10?
Out of 5.
out of 5.
Oh, that's not bad.
Yeah, that's like almost an 80%.
Almost.
Yeah,
Anyway,
if I
what
had
do
a
you think?
calculator, that's a 78%.
What do you
Shut
think
up.
Tick Tick Boom got.
I'm going to say like 84 or something like that.
Tick Tick Boom.
On Rotten Tomatoes,
Yeah.
I'm guessing 73.
Gosh darn. Rotten Tomatoes got 88%.
I was
IMDb 7.7.
It's a good movie.
Metacritic 74. 85% on Google users, and then the rating is 4.9.
Hey,
5.
I think we should do this from now on. Our
Yeah.
review section is just
We
us
just
looking
go,
up other
"Wow,
people's reviews and
what?"
going,
Right.
"Wow, that sounds pretty good."
Yeah,
See y'all
no
next
way.
episode.
Yep.
Yeah.
But if you think Rotten Tomatoes thinks this movie's good, you haven't heard 3 other people say it is.
1,
Uh-huh.
2,
2.
3.
3 again.
Yeah.
I'm multiplying.
What are
Danan,
you?
Please stop. That's a great question, Jackson. I haven't been asked
Welcome
that
to
in at least
Philosophy
3 years.
101.
What am I?
So Tick Tick Boom follows the semi-autobiographical adventure of Jonathan Larson, the creator of Rent.
I think it's confusing.
He made Rent?
Right off.
Is
the
that
bat.
why I'm paying $1,000 a month? to
Oh,
live in a
Jackson.
Oh
That's
my
a good
God.
one, man.
Goober.
Jonathan Larson,
That
you
is-
asshole.
Don't make me reach
You
over this
asshole,
table.
you.
I'll beat you to death.
Your
But
threats mean nothing to me.
I'm already dead on the inside. This is a musical.
Is it? Wow.
We're off to a strong start.
I was so fucking confused. When I was
Why
watching
are
this
these people
movie.
singing?
No. Okay. I think we should
And
lay the
on
groundwork
the
for
other
movie.
side, it's also a movie. A
Oh
movie
my God.
musical.
I can't follow.
Jackson is so smart.
Give
I
me
never
one or
would've
the
thought
other.
of
It's too
that.
much.
Let's lay the groundwork.
Let's lay the groundworks.
So it's confusing as right?
Is it?
I thought so.
Well, you're stupid, so.
Well, okay. I'd never seen Tick Tick Boom the musical before.
Mhm.
Jackson, had you ever seen Tick Tick Boom the musical?
No.
Jackson's
Were
only.
you also confused on like the time, not like necessarily the timeline, but what was going on just in general? Because I was confused, like when they were like cutting between like real life scenes and then like I didn't know that what he was doing on stage was his performance of Tick Tick Boom. If that makes
All
sense.
right, I didn't
Because
understand. The
I went into
significance
this
of that.
thinking that it was a movie adaptation of Tick Tick Boom, which in a way it was, but in a way it also wasn't. It was like a recreation.
It was a mix of
It was a
the
recreation
stage
of
and
that,
then.
that one recording of Jonathan Larson, is that his name, right?
Mhm.
Doing the performance of Tick Tick Boom, and then like during the performance, they would cut away into like real scenes of like what would be happening during Tick Tick Boom, but in like a movie sense. But then they'd cut back to a recreation of an actual performance that he did, and so I think overall, without any explanation, very confusing.
I thought after like the second song, it was pretty
No.
easy to piece together.
I don't
It
think it
didn't
was-
make sense to me
I didn't
because
know it
this was
at all.
after he was talking about after he had produced or he after all the events of the movie had occurred.
Mhm.
Jeez, I mean,
He was saying
I don't want to
was-
spoil
he
that
was-
he dies. Right?
Whoa!
Wait, this real person who's already
This
been
real
dead?
person- right? But he dies soon after, like
Mhm.
the events of the movie take place. So this happened in the few years between Disturbia getting its debut and him dying.
Mhm.
And I'm just wondering, what did he get? He wasn't that popular when he was alive. So did he really have enough people to go to an audience?
Disturbia.
It's
That
the
was the name of
name of the
his.
space opera.
Was it?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's called Disturbia.
Not to be confused with the pop song Disturbia.
On the Netflix subtitles, it said Superbia.
Is it Superbia?
I think it's Superbia.
I'm just
Disturbia is a song by Rihanna.
Which is great.
It's a great song.
I think for our own headcanon, it's Disturbia.
I think we should call it Disturbia.
Disturbia
It is Superbia.
starring-
I don't know why I thought it was
starring
Disturbia.
You guys were really gaslighting me for a second. I was like, no, I read the
No,
word.
we're watching Spider-Man on Friday. I'm pretty sure. We had this conversation before it.
So he wasn't that popular in real life, and it sounded like this initial performance was kind of like his own, like, this is how it happened to me, but he wasn't that popular. So like, who would show up and be like, oh, how did this guy get famous? Because he wasn't famous. I can see why you were confused, and I was also confused. I didn't understand the significance of that, where he was just playing the songs, but it wasn't actually the events that he was telling.
Yes, it was confusing because I didn't go in knowing like what the plot of Tick Tick Boom was in general at all, and so I was trying to piece it together based on the movie. And so when I went in just expecting like a full, just like
like a Rocket Man,
like In the Heights, or any other musical that they like adapt for a movie form, like,
which
I thought
just
it was just a pure adaptation, like story. Here's that, but it felt like more of a tribute.
I thought it was interesting because like, and now that you're saying it, I could see like confusion throughout. But I thought like it's one of those like, oh, near the end when they're doing the zoom into the final song of the movie, because it shows the tickets are like $10, $15 at the door, and then he scribbled it out to $5 kind of thing.
And that was like great because I was like,
oh, okay, so it's not completely sold out.
But
kind of
I
thing.
knew what was going on throughout the whole movie.
But that's kind of also
that's
like,
my fault for not knowing what Tick Tick Boom was. I probably should have kind of.
But no,
you should have watched the entire play at Broadway.
But it's also kind of things like Interstellar, or like Shutter Island, where like, I wish I knew that the whole time. But it's also like now watching it again, you're gonna be like, okay, now they're gonna mean different
Wasn't
things.
expecting that though. You know what I mean? That's the
I
problem.
get you.
I didn't go into this expecting to have to piece.
Well, I mean,
together.
it's fun.
No,
no, you want to know everything.
The way that he was using words was confusing because obviously in his performance of Tick Tick Boom, he was like describing things in the past, but then it would happen in the present.
Because they're all flashbacks.
I understand, but the confusing.
How are you confused by this? Okay. But you get episode 9.
Explain it to you.
Of Star Wars.
Are you explaining episode 9?
I actually compared it to Dylan. As I was like, you know what? It's a lot like Rise of Skywalker, where I just kind of felt like I was like, whoa, because I didn't know what was going on the whole time. I was like, what the is happening? But now I lost my train of thought because you brought up Star Wars, so I can't believe you just did that. I had a great thought, man.
Hey, you ever want Camden to like stop talking about what he's talking about? Just bring up Star Wars.
You excited for the new season of Ahsoka? I love Star Wars.
Oh, I remember.
His eyes cross.
It's confusing because it's a story about his life, and then he plays himself, and then the scenes where they cut back were also just scenes of himself, and so it was just like a lot of like him, and I was like, I don't know, like at what point in his life he is because he looks all the same throughout this. But I guess that's kind of the point because it all kind of happens.
Well, I mean, it is like within that scene.
But
it's also
confusing when you go in not knowing anything. So if you don't know anything, now you know how the movie works.
Thank you for coming to our review first before you do it.
In a way.
Can we do that?
Can you do the back-to-back thing to make it look super cool? These guys don't know how musicals work.
Oh, yeah.
There's a big rainbow behind you guys. But it was really interesting because Jackson...
It was 2 musicals in one.
Still only one, but
2 in one.
Oh, I guess no, because Superbia and then also Tick Tick Boom.
That was the other confusing thing.
Oh my god!
I was like, what? There's another musical now? Because I think that was what mainly threw me off. I was like, is this performance?
So so the thing that confused you was that you didn't know anything about Jonathan Larson, and then at the end of the movie, now you know more about it. Both that he is dead, he created, and then a show didn't get picked up, and also this story takes place before. And Tick Tick Boom is just a retelling of all of it.
I pretty much knew he wrote Rent and then he died.
Okay. Well, that's kind of, and that's why that was like interesting about this because they touch on Rent like, hey, he made one of the biggest musicals of all time.
But it's not.
But they don't.
The focus
wait, question. So you know all those things he wrote down during the movie? He used those in Rent?
Yes. Some of those are lyrics. Some of those are dialogue pieces.
Easter egg.
Like that's what he's spreading out at the end. It's like
I guess that's like the setup for Rent, you know?
Yeah, but it's not like the musical is like a sequel to this. It's like
obviously I'm just saying like
for all the theater nerds out there.
At least show that
he's working on the next piece.
Started working on it. Kind of, and it was Sondheim's. What was it? Sondheim's advice saying like, you know, stick with what you know.
Yeah, kind of thing.
So,
which is fun.
That was what he knew because he wrote.
Speaking of Stephen Sondheim,
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. He died earlier, I believe this week
I think
or a
last
week
I
ago,
think it
something
was
like that.
over the week of
This show,
Thanksgiving.
I don't think this movie was meant to have the kind of impact it did with his inclusion, but it was like one of those weird, like, hey,
Weird timing.
life somehow imitates art in some places. Because he's like this such a powerful presence. The actor did a really good job like replicating Stephen Sondheim because they had this one scene where they did the workshop with Superbia, and this one guy's like, I didn't like it at all. It was too confusing. It was a mess. And then Stephen Sondheim was like, I actually thought it was incredibly simple in the way that you were able to weave the stories. That's exactly what I meant. Like Stephen has that
Yeah,
kind
It was
of.
getting annoying.
That was my
gonna go in
least
and punch
favorite character.
guy.
That guy was just like,
Yeah, that guy.
That's
like,
what we're
hey,
saying. We're saying the
here's-
same thing differently.
Yeah.
That guy.
worst
But
character in the movie. Glad he was only on screen for 30 seconds.
glad he died of
It felt
dysentery.
like an hour.
No, I'm kidding.
In 1990,
Yeah, it's
man?
crazy.
Oh my God.
Welcome to
Wow.
Oregon Trail, the musical.
Yeah.
Speaking of music, let's talk about some music. This movie has some music in it, which makes it a movie musical.
Mhm.
Agreed.
Andrew Garfield sang.
Andrew Garfield didn't
pretty
sing
good.
before
He was
this,
very
and now
good,
he did.
actually.
Besides
Honestly,
his breakout singing role in Spider-Man 2.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
They
So
they
good.
showed a few clips of Jonathan Larson at the end, and I was like, holy shit, Andrew Garfield's a good casting. Like he
Yeah,
looks
no,
very
it-
similar, like very similar
uncanny.
build, and also good at singing.
Good at singing.
Good at singing. Who would have thunk it?
Good at
I wouldn't
crying
have-
and being
wouldn't
angry
have
and being
thunk it.
passionate.
Yeah.
This guy's an actor.
I don't
guy's-
know though. Look at him. Like picture him in your mind.
Uh-huh.
Could he sing
Yeah.
before this movie?
Yeah.
Probably
Like,
not.
I'm like,
not before this
Yeah.
movie.
Oh, I can say yeah. But Andrew Garfield.
Andrew
Singer
Garfield.
for sure.
he's a singer guy for sure.
The Spider guy. More like singer.
Yeah.
Singer guy.
Yeah.
But music.
I love the opening number.
It's
The
great.
opening
It gets
number-
you jumping on your feet,
You're like,
and
that's
then
number
boom,
4.
AIDS.
Tick tick. Oh.
That's what this show is. I mean,
Yeah.
that's pretty much how it sets up Rent also, because all
Yeah.
these things happened in his life to help create that musical. But
Mhm.
yeah, it really
Really
takes on a
sad.
f***ing emotional
No,
adventure.
no. Literally, the back half of the movie was just.
That was something we
Sad
talked about that
thing
you were
after sad
upset
thing.
about because it was sad.
I was just like,
He doesn't like
when
sad
does it
things.
get better? And then it like didn't because you were like, no, because the whole
God, when
movie
does
you're
it
like,
get
I
better?
know he makes it because he has a movie made about him, so
Mm-hmm.
he has to make it. But then the entire time you're like, wait, Superbia's like kind of flopping, or not really
he's-
flopping.
I didn't even
but-
think the show was bad. It's better than some musical. It's better than the musical movie we reviewed earlier this year.
It wasn't bad. That's what they said. They were just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
we just
It was just
And-
like
and
it's
then-
too
And
expensive
then they
for
call
off-Broadway.
him and they're like, yeah, like this isn't a Broadway thing. And then you get a call from Sondheim and he's like, I like what you're doing,
Would it have
but
made
that never amounts to
a
anything.
good movie musical? Like if it were like happening today, because that would be way cheaper than doing an off-Broadway
Everything.
production, you know?
If it were today, I think it would. I think some people would say, "Oh, it's too simple," or like, "Oh, it trivializes blah blah blah." But
Mhm.
anyone say that about anything. People
Yeah.
didn't like Shrek the musical, and that's a f***ing masterpiece.
How dare they
How
not like
dare
Shrek
they?
the musical, the
Quick
Shrewical.
sidebar: the dad of Haley Steinfeld's Kate Bishop in the Hawkeye series put his image up right there. He is actually Shrek from Shrek the musical. Put his image up there.
I'm not gonna do
Fun
that.
fact. I really enjoy how happy it is in the beginning. The first two songs I really enjoy, Boho Nights and 3090.
Mhm.
Jackson, you played that song 5 times
39 is a really good
in
song.
between
It is a
us
good
setting
song.
things up. It's
Yeah,
such a good song.
That's a really good song.
I really enjoy Therapy because it has such a cool juxtaposition between this incredibly intense, serious moment where they're both like screaming and crying, and then it's
Yeah.
like what their internal thought is through the song kind of thing.
I
That's
thought
a
it
therapy
was good.
session.
I don't know. I disagree with you.
You didn't like it at all?
No. I disagree with the meaning of that song. I don't know. It seemed like when they were like fighting in person, that's like they were like kind of letting it all out, but then the song felt like almost restrained in a way. Like that's
They're
what
robotic, yeah.
They were like trying to like hold it back in the song, but
Mm.
then like what actually happened was like much more.
Yeah, it was like a therapy
You
structure
know.
kind of thing also where it's like
Mhm.
use the I feel or I think statements. And so they're trying to work around it.
It led to some interesting wordplay.
Yeah, which is very funny. And also it
That's
just
very funny.
sounded good.
It did sound good.
Done
I was like,
good
"Ooh, there
song."
go
I was
my
like,
ears.
I'm
My
happy.
ears are going off now.
And then when his friend says he is, what was it? HIV?
I think it's AIDS.
AIDS? I thought it was something.
which friend?
What's the,
Not the first friend who got
Michael?
Yeah, Michael.
He's HIV positive.
There's
HIV,
He doesn't
okay.
have AIDS yet.
Yeah.
right.
So it was HIV positive.
But then he said like the very sad thing, because obviously like back in 1990 there was like
Mhm.
little to no treatment
Yeah.
because of the stigma against it. But he was like, if I'm lucky, I have a
I have a
year,
year,
maybe
and
more.
I
And
thought
I was like, if you're lucky,
then-
you have a year,
no.
maybe more. Like it's crazy.
that was sad in its own, but when Andrew Garfield was like, "Why didn't you tell me?"
and then he realizes
You
like,
tried to tell
Yeah.
me. I was like, no.
I just like how they
Pretty
have
sad
that
stuff.
argument too, where he's like, "Listen, I'm not you. I'm not gonna buy a nice car and things like that." He's like, "No, you don't. You're taking for granted what I can't do. You can openly be happy. You can live your life like that. I can't do that. So I'm gonna buy a fucking nice car and I'm gonna do this stuff because I can do that."
Yeah.
It was just sad because you knew that like the entire time he had a dream that he didn't want to give up, but it
Mhm.
was hurting not only himself, but like it was
Mhm.
causing him to hurt the people around him. And like in the end, like not much is resolved. His girlfriend leaves.
Mhm.
He
And
doesn't go with
I
her.
really enjoyed that there wasn't they didn't put a greatest showman or anything where there's a weird, here's a love triangle or like, oh, conflict.
Yeah.
It was just like these two are, they love each other. They can't work.
Timing didn't work out.
Yeah. Timing didn't work out. And it was just like they didn't even get like the
It was
bye.
really sad because it
was
did
just
really
like,
feel
bye.
like timing didn't work out. Like it wasn't even like these two aren't right for each other. I think they probably would be, but
Yeah.
it just
But
weren't.
just like he wanted to get a show out and she had to say yes to a job soon.
yeah.
And it sucked because that timer kept going down.
But he was definitely in the wrong.
Oh,
I mean, like I know that he was working. But
Yeah.
It was no more than an hour-long conversation, like
to talk it
because-
out. But
yeah,
it's like, but that's the
But
thing about the
it's
obsessed
also like
artist.
and-
Is like,
yeah,
big
yeah, of course. It's
because
supposed to be like a tragic
she's
story.
practically asking him to give up on his dream, and he wants to.
I don't even think so
ignore
though,
that.
because she was like, "I just wanted you to tell me that. Like, I just wanted you to tell me that you wanted me to stay. That's all I wanted."
Right,
to hear.
but
I
then he
would've
said,
stayed
"Of
if you
course
said
I
that."
want
but he
you to
didn't.
stay,
But
and
he
she
didn't
left
want to.
anyways,
Yeah, but he
so-
didn't want to
Because
hurt
it
her
was too
feelings.
late.
Yeah, and that's the
I
thing.
guess, yeah.
That's what's difficult. That's what makes it a drama.
Too
That's what makes
late.
it a good movie.
That's
in
what
my
makes
opinion.
it a tick tick boom.
A tick, tick,
But
boom.
what I was
What
saying
makes
back
it
about
tick, tick, boom?
having his buddy Michael when they have that reveal and everything,
Yeah.
I think that's my favorite song just because it's a scene itself where he
Mhm.
finds the piano in the park, the amphitheater, and it's just playing, and they're like, God, you're just sad, but in a good, like a reflective sad.
The trope of just, ooh, whose piano is this? You know.
I did like, I mean, it was on the nose, but I did like right when he was done playing, it was raining, and then he went back to his buddy's house and was like, I'm gonna help you with whatever you want, man. I'm here for you,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Very cliche, but that's Lin-Manuel Miranda. For
That's
you.
Lin-Manuel Miranda for you. Before we move any further, how about them Hamilton references, huh? Can we talk about the Hamilton
I
references?
honestly
I haven't
didn't
seen
pick up on
Hamilton.
them because I didn't care enough about it.
No,
Pick up on
it
them.
was
Can you
it was
please tell me them?
distracting because I knew what it was. Well, first of all, everyone loves a good old Lin-Manuel Miranda cameo. In this
Oh,
one,
yeah.
doesn't sing.
Thank
He
you.
does say
Think about
something though. He shouts out like an.
I'm
order or
a
something.
chef, and then goes
Hey,
back
I'm
to.
a chef. And we're-
Remember when
Oh.
I was in the Mary
sound
Poppins
like Lin-Manuel
sequel?
Miranda.
And you're like, okay, weird time to bring that up. But two of the customers in the Sunday scene were the Schuyler sisters, and when they're doing that
Yeah,
pan down the
saw that.
table, they pose like the Schuyler sisters do, and I was like,
They did.
yeah. I'm like, why?
I didn't notice they did the.
It didn't
pose.
take me out, but I was just like, and then I got back to the song that I enjoyed. But I was like, it's
Mhm.
like when like a dog has something in its nose, it just has to sneeze and continue. I saw that, I was like, fucking stupid, and then I went back. But I talked to Jackson about this. I loved how they did the Rocket Man thing, where it's like the separation of reality and everything. Like he's
Mhm.
really just working Sunday brunch,
Yeah.
but he has this big old
Oh, yeah.
opera, and then the wall falls down, and he's having like a choir with the homeless people on the
Mhm.
street, and then like the different customers,
Mhm.
and he's insulting everyone while he's doing it.
They actually had some pretty cool.
I
shots
thought he
in
was
this
gonna
movie.
snap there, and then he didn't. I thought it was
Yeah.
interesting.
I like, but for as confusing as it was,
like emotionally snap. Or
like quit his job,
like Joker, like
like
go on a news station.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, but I did like how it was like not a palate cleanser, but like a redirect every time to help you get on top of it. Whenever he went to a monologue, like my friend's in the hospital, but I have to work. I need to finish the song, and like
Yeah.
he's just stressfully organizing dishes, but it's like doing that at the same time.
Mhm.
As confusing as it was, I think it made for an interesting experience.
It was cool seeing the two put together.
Yeah.
And looking back on it now that I like know what's going on, it was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was good. I could see why someone who did know what was going on would enjoy it a lot more.
More,
first
yeah.
watch.
So I feel like next time either of you watch it, you'll be more like, I got it now. I've
Definitely.
already seen this movie. As
I
you
know
sit
what's
there.
happening.
He dies at the end.
Yeah, it was just a little confusing to piece together. So just have some
Yeah.
some background knowledge before going in.
Also, don't think about how long Andrew Garfield can hold his breath while he's swimming and singing, and also
Impressive.
figuring out the music at the bottom of a pool. Don't
I,
look into that.
I honestly thought he was gonna drown in that scene.
That'd
I
be
was
so
that was
cool,
sad.
though.
He's
That was cool.
underwater
That was so
for
cool.
too long.
But also, he would be dead.
Well, it was dumb at first when he went on the bottom and then like the dust went away. I was like, this is stupid.
and then the whole
And then the
music,
whole
and you're
thing,
like,
and I
oh,
was
I
like,
get it now.
okay,
You're
okay,
like,
it's
I
cool
get it
now.
now.
I was just like, oh god, he's just discovering music. Like, oh my, look at how he discovers it. No,
No,
that's not
shut
how that
up.
happened.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But before let's rank this movie first, and then we'll do my next question.
Yeah.
What do we give this out of 10 Lin-Manuel Miranda cameos? I'm going to give this, I'll do it first, so that way you fuckers can't yell at me for saying.
Yeah.
I'm going to give this an 8.75. Really enjoyed it. Not the best movie of the year, but I really did enjoy it.
Well, I got to base it off Dream Horse. You know what I'm saying?
Not
Because that's
any
how-
horses
do
in
know
this
what you're
movie.
saying.
Exactly.
That's going to drop it down
And that
5 at least.
Immediately drops it down 50%. I'll go 8.2.
I was actually going to say 8.8. So.
Oh, so you
you're
like it
still in
slightly
the
more.
fucking middle.
Fuck you guys. I didn't.
Still in the middle.
my
I
God.
did it
Oh my
first.
god, you're in the dead center, man.
That's
No,
not
it's
how the
not-
math
it's not-
works.
not true, but-
8.2 and then 8.8.
8.75, is that what you said?
Yeah.
I think it's pretty much
It's
the
dead center.
Come on, dude.
It's dead center.
Think for yourself next time.
Yeah.
Stop being a sheep.
Literal
The next question I had,
sheeple.
because we've reviewed quite a few this year.
We've reviewed 3.
Is this the best musical movie of the year?
I liked In the Heights. Sorry.
Oh,
like
you
The
had an
Heights
opinion? What the fuck? Yeah, you're
Yeah,
allowed to.
no.
Yeah, I like this one the best.
I think this is a really good balance of both. I think preferences wise, overall movie, I think I liked In the Heights more just because of the beautiful colors and everything. But as a
Right.
musical, I like this more because
Yeah.
that is a complete beginning, middle, end, and also there's no weird Spider-Man scene where a kid goes, "There's 2 people dancing on the wall," and then they address them dancing on
That
the
makes
wall.
sense.
So, are they there? Kind of thing.
They were there.
They were there.
For
There's
sure.
spider people.
For sure.
Anyways, now before we hear anyone complaining about that we left out a musical movie on our list because a big one is coming out soon, well, rest easy because we're reviewing that next week. And if you think it's West Side Story, you're wrong. Because I already promised my mom I'd watch it with her. And we are going to be reviewing Encanto instead.
Yay.
Because
Nice.
you two
Disney movie.
SOBs were like, we gotta
I've
review
heard
it.
good things.
No, I'm
and
not
it's a
against it.
Disney
I just
movie.
didn't think you guys were
I
going to
want the
watch
audience
it.
to know Danan's been against this since day one.
The
Day
s-
one.
The second
Hey,
we
been
started
on the
this
agenda.
podcast.
Oh, we had to unionize. It was
Yeah.
bad.
Cameron and I went on strike. We
Yeah.
literally
we were like, we need to see Encanto, and he just wouldn't do it. I
Yeah.
don't know why. Don't know what that says about him.
Danan was just like, it's 3 a.m, guys. Please, I have a test tomorrow.
Please.
And we're like, we want to see Encanto.
I actually put it in the contracts before we started our podcast a year ago. I said, guys, if we review Encanto, you two are done. Like,
Yeah.
that's it.
So we
I
had to
will get
change
new
the contract,
co-hosts.
actually. So I'm glad that we worked something out together.
Yeah, no, I'm already looking up for the new co-hosts after that. Enjoy your last movie, and then
Oh,
I'll review Spider-Man
you.
with them. No, I'm
Oh,
kidding.
yeah. Okay, whatever.
The main reason why we're not reviewing anything else, we're reviewing Encanto, is because we couldn't find a Christmas movie with Tobey Maguire in
Who
it.
would have thought?
Which
You
is the
would've-
best reason
you
to
would've
watch
thought.
another
There's a movie where he plays a soldier in like World War II.
I've heard about that one.
Well, I think Christmas happened during World War II.
Had to have at least.
At least once.
Probably, yeah.
for sure.
But sorry about that, Tobey Maguire. Maybe we'll review Boss Baby one day. Psych. Get